Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am here to go through the 2019 Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets. Well, this is just the box, but I want to give you a little bit of background information before I show you what's inside. Power Sheets are an intentional goal planner created by Lara Casey, and it is a process of figuring out what's important to you, setting goals, and then tracking the progress towards those goals throughout the course of a year. That's like a really big high-level overview of what they are. They are much more detailed and much more valuable than everything I just said. Years and years ago, when she first created the Power Sheets, it was actually like a stack of sheets that you got in the mail, and then you put them in like a binder, and that's what you would track over the course of the year. That's what you would work in, hence the name Power Sheets. Now it's actually a coil-bound planner, essentially, that you get, a set of sheets that you get to work in over the course of the years. There are tabs for each quarter, for each month. Let me just tell you, they're beautiful. I love just like looking at them. And it is just chock full of goal setting exercises, prioritization, goal tracking, quarterly, monthly, all kinds of things. And we're going to go through all of it. I'm going to show you everything because I want you to see everything that comes inside of it and make a decision whether this is something that is going to work for you and your lifestyle and the goals that you have. One of my main objectives on this channel is to help give you tools to help you achieve goals in your life. And everybody's life is different. Everybody's goals are different. So this may not be an option for you, but I want you to have all the information to make that decision yourself. One more set of background information. I did order a set of these years and years ago, like 2013, 14, and I filled them all out. I had all my goals set for the year. I was ready to make this like the best year ever. And then my personal life took a huge pivot and everything sort of blew up and it totally changed, and it was a mess, to say the least. So the goals that I had put in this beautiful planner were just not the same. Like, it was not going to work for me. And instead of going through and reassessing and changing them, and of course my type A personality couldn't handle like crossing anything out, I just threw them away. And that was probably one of the worst decisions I ever made, because that year was crazy for me. It was a lot of change and a lot of growth, and I probably really could have used them. And every year since then, I have considered ordering them, and I've almost clicked that button, but something's always held me back because there was just so much of my life that was uncertain, and there were so many things that I had to figure out, and I probably needed them more because of that, but I didn't do it. I just didn't have the strength and the courage to really dig deep when so much of my life was still so uncertain. So much of my life still is uncertain, but for some reason this year, I know that I'm ready. And part of it is just starting this channel. I knew when I started this channel, I was going to have a set of Power Sheets this year, and I was going to do all of the exercises and really focus and utilize the process. That is one of the biggest things in life in general. Processes are there for a reason. Processes work. You just have to follow them. Losing weight. You know what the process is. Eat healthy and go to the gym. Just follow the process and you're going to get the results. Same thing goes with goal setting. If you follow the process, you're going to get the results. Okay, that was a lot of rambling. Let's get into the Power Sheets. So this is what mine looks like. One of the biggest changes for 2019 that she made is that there are cover options. So I will pop them up on the screen so you can see there are 4 different options. And when they first released the covers, this pink and orange one immediately jumped out at me. That one's for me. A pink and orange are my favorite color combination. Like, this is the one I'm gonna get. But then I started to question it, right? The yellow was so beautiful. I was like, that one looks really great. The multicolor, I mean, I love rainbow. I was like, that one sounds awesome. I love the color teal. And then in classic Lara Casey style, she released something that just helped me make my decision, made my life easier. And it was a color theory. I will pop that up on the screen. And it gives a couple of words to describe what are the things that you want to cultivate this year. Those are the color Power Sheets you should go with. And I was already considering using the word focus for my word of the year. That's not 100%, but it was one of the words I was throwing around. So when I saw that word on there and confidence, I was like, I'm done. This is the one that I'm meant to have. It's the one that spoke to me originally. So I picked the pink and the orange, and the amazing team at Cultivate What Matters, it's a small group of amazing women. They sent this to me to review and share with you. So I'm really excited to show you the inside and talk about all of the details, and you might want to stay until the end of the video. Also, we're going to be talking about the 2019 full year dated set of Power Sheets. They do have an undated 6-month option with a sort of white design on the cover. And it is a great option for gifts, or if you just want to try it out and maybe see if it works for you, or you know that you're in a weird season of life and you can't start until March, so maybe an undated option is better for you. We're going to be going through the full dated year version, but I want you to know that that option is there as well. But let's be honest, you're not going to be able to see it. I'm not going to hold this up and show you all the pages. So let's go to a top-down view so you can really see the inside of this and decide if it's something that would work for you. So let's start by talking about the outside. The cover is a very smooth. It has a really nice feel to it, but it is sort of just like a thick cardboard, if you will. Hopefully you can kind of see the thinness there. It's not super sturdy. I would not feel comfortable like throwing this in my bag and taking it to work. It definitely feels like it would get beaten up if I were to try and transport it a lot. But I think for this purpose, it's just going to be sitting at home. It's something that I will assess and go through when I'm at home with a cup of tea. So I'm not really all that concerned about it, but I just want to let you know that if that's something that's really important to you for whatever reason, just be aware. The coil is like a plastic coil. It doesn't feel like the Erin Condren. It feels just a little bit more plastic. Again, something that may not hold up as sturdily in sort of a bag throwing around situation. But again, sitting on my desk, it's gonna be fine. So it comes with a couple little things on the inside. This is one of her main quotes, which is, you know, all these things you've always wanted to do, you should go do them. And then it has a little card for your word of the year, which is part of the Power Sheets process. And then I love this. Let's do this. And it has this sort of the same on the first page here, which is really nice. Now the paper is, it's not the thickest paper I've ever felt, but it's not the thinnest paper. The pens that they sell in their shop are actually Papermate flares. I'm not sure how that would work on this. I'm gonna hopefully find a place, maybe on this first page, oh, this one's beautiful, to do a pen test at some point in this video. So on the first, it sort of has just like a letter from her, and then just kind of getting started and just some tips on getting started. And then, oh, look at this beautiful quote. Oh my gosh. And then stickers, because obviously who can't get enough stickers? They do make a separate sticker book that is like their goal setting sticker book that is supposed to complement this planner. I will be going through this and all the other accessories in another video. Subscribe so that you get notified when that one goes up. But it does come with a page of stickers in the planner, and it's at the front, which is different. I feel like a lot of planners put their stickers in the back. So then you start going through the process of figuring out your goals. And let's see how many pages. So we start on page 7. I just want to see how many there are. There's somebody I saw comment somewhere that she sort of does 1 page per day when she starts to like get ready for the new year. So I'm curious like how many there are and how many that would take. I don't know if I could do 1 per day. I might do like 2 per day on the weekends. During the week, my brain just is not ready for that. Okay, so then it has another little quote area and then sort of a get to know me page. So just some questions, trying to figure out things about you. And then again, you just sort of dig into this goal setting process. So this first page is break your identity process. Who are you? This is evaluating your life on all of these different areas. So she's got 8 different categories: health, friends, significant other, family, finances, spiritual, work, and recreation. Recreation, that's really interesting. Like travel, maybe? I'm not really sure. But I kind of like this, where you can kind of assess it on a 1 to 10 scale and just analyze where you're at in your life. This page is sort of to narrow it down. So what 3 of those areas do you want to focus on the most? Letting go. Oh, that is a struggle for me. Another beautiful quote. Okay, so counting the pages, if there's a quote in the middle, that's not going to help. So what are we at? 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 before this quote. Meet your fears. So this is a good one. So in analyzing your fears, what are you afraid of and why? Good things. What happened last year that was good? What didn't work in the last year? Where did you struggle? What were the challenges? What lessons did you learn in the past year? Oh. What is still unanswered or unsolved? This would have been good for when I was, I was talking about that time in my life where so many things were up in the air. There was a spot for it. People that you're grateful for, that's really great. And then another little, this isn't really a quote. This is sort of to help you keep going. Comparison is the thief of everything. I love that. Here's what I'm saying no to. Here's what I'm saying yes to. Fires me up. What things that fuel you? That's great. I've been watching a lot of videos on waking up earlier in the morning, and one of the big keys is find something that you want to wake up for. And that's sort of what this page reminds me of. The big picture. Oh, I love that. I think you have 2 pages for that. Life is too short. Another little like inspirational section. This is where you choose your word of the year. It sort of walks you through a process on how to figure that out. This is beautiful. This is where you write it down. What matters to you? Cultivating what matters. Another one of these little inspirational pages. And this is sort of like your guiding, what is that? What is the phrase like companies use? Like your mission statement for the year. This is like your mission statement. And then you have another little quote, and then it starts the actual planner. So I know I'm trying to count pages. I'm gonna go back and do it at the end because there's actually a whole nother section that you would do before the year actually starts. So this is all sort of figuring out what's important to you, what matters to you. Why are you going to set the goals that you're setting? This wasn't actually setting any of the goals. This was just figuring out what's important to you and what works in your life and what doesn't work in your life. Then we get into the actual goals. So the dividers are that same thick cardboard. It feels like almost exactly like the cover. It's interesting. And then laminated tabs, and the months are all colors, which is this beautiful ombre rainbow. And then the goals and the quarters are in white. So you can kind of pick those out, which is kind of nice. Then it starts your actual goal setting. And they talk about these things called threads. Again, we're not going to go through the process right now. If you guys want me to sort of film my process, I could maybe do that. Although some of this will be very personal. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see in terms of me actually using this. So then it has lots of pages about turning these threads into goals. What are the threads, and then what are the goals going to become from those threads? And so you sort of simplify it down. There's lots of pages on that. Oh my God, this quote, y'all. This is beautiful. Some more inspirational words, and then how you're going to use the action plan worksheets. So for each goal, you're going to fill out an action plan, and this is sort of giving it's a how-to guide on it. Then here we start the action plan. And so they have these for 10 different goals is what the recommendation is for you to set for the year, which I think is reasonable. You know, for a whole year, 10 goals, like that's doable. And she doesn't give you any specific topics like those categories that we talked about earlier. You basically just get to pick those for yourself. So we have one of these action plans for 10 different goals. And then you have like a summary. So here's a summary of all the goals. Now, the flag spaces that she has here goes with the stickers that are in this book. I guess you can get a sneak peek of this sticker book, but it's for color coordinating. So there's 10 different colors, and you put the goals here. And then when you're doing stuff throughout the year, you have stickers that coordinate to those colors. I can't wait. And then you have a yearly overview. So you sort of talk about how your goals might fall into the actual calendar year. And then you get started. So that is sort of all the intro pages, which was a lot. There was a lot of pages. Let's count all the pages that actually had stuff to do on them. There were 50 pages of activities to do before the year actually starts. Now I understand the woman that said she does 1 page per day, because if you start with 1 page per day on like November 1st and take off like Thanksgiving and Christmas, I mean, you're pretty much there. It's time to start digging in. It's time to start working on these. So then we start with the months, and each month has sort of this quote page. It looks like the print varies by quarter. So that's cool. So January, February, March has this sort of teal ombre, and each of the months looks the same. So I'm not sure if you're supposed to do these pages before the month starts or during the month. My guess is probably before the month starts. January just feels a little bit weird because you just did 50 pages of other stuff, but this is sort of what's stressing you out. Fears that you have, you're hopeful that. Oh yeah, this is definitely before the month. So what's on the calendar? What do you need to get done? What are you excited about? This is sort of a brain dump, it looks like. This is, you know, what are many actions that you're going to take to achieve your goals, and it tells you what to do with them. And then it has some tips on tending. This page is perforated, and I think you're supposed to take this out, have it on a daily basis, because these are things you want to check off. Like this is almost a habit tracker, basically. Monthly actions, weekly actions, and daily actions. I could maybe stick this in my Erin Condren. It's a little bit big. It's bigger than the Erin Condren, but I could always just fold it in half. And then on the back, it's empty, and they have on their website a bunch of what they call wildcard sheets. It has a bunch of different options where you can download and figure out what's important to you, and then put that page here. And then here is where you go after the month. So the month in review is all of what's going well, what are you grateful for, etc. This is really great. And that's it. That's all you have to do each month. So there is a lot to do in advance, but each month it's really not that many pages. It's 1, 2, 3 pages before the month, 1 page during the month, and then 1 page at the end. It's not that overwhelming. And then February, we have the exact same thing. It looks the same. I think there's some little notes in there that might be different. It doesn't have that tips for tending here because you already read those, so you don't need them in February. Otherwise, it looks like it's exactly the same. And then same thing with March. And then you have a quarterly section. So we start with spring, and it has spring cleaning, clear the clutter, and it has things that you should do throughout the spring. So different types of declutter, and then you do a refresh on the categories in your life. So now where are you at? What are you saying yes to in this category? What are you saying no to in this category? You can change your word if you don't want it to be for the year. Where are you at on those 10 goals that you set? How are you feeling? How are you progressing? And that's it. Okay, that's nice. The quarterly one does have more, but it's not too much. And then we start again. And then we have April, and the second quarter has this sort of green theme. And then we get to summer. This is beautiful. Okay, so it looks like for the quarter, this page is different. This first page is something unique, something different to that quarter. And then you have the same 2 pages. So you assess these 10 categories, or these 8 categories rather, and then these 10 goals. This is my favorite color scheme, obviously. To third quarter. And then you have fall. And the fall one is about savoring. So that's really cool. And then same thing, you're going to assess these and assess these. And then you have fourth quarter. And then I think there is like a year in review. Yeah, there's not really a year in review, just like a celebrating 2019, a highlight from each of the months. It would be fun to put pictures in here too, I think. I guess the year in review is when you go set up your 2020. And then it just has that quote on the back. Whew, that was a lot to go through, but I'm really glad that we went through the whole thing. I hope you got a sense for how this process works and how it really does assist in figuring out what's important in your life and creating goals around that, not the other way around, and not creating goals around things that you think should be important to you. So as I mentioned before, I told you to stay tuned to the end of the video. You probably guessed it. The amazing team at Cultivate What Matters teamed up with me, and we are going to give away one set of 2019 full year dated power sheets to one of you. All you have to do to enter is comment below on this video with which color of the power sheets speaks to you the most. Which one of the covers based on the color theory works for you, or which color do you like the best? If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, inspiring and encouraging you to achieve your goals through planning and organization. Thank you so much for watching. Happy planning. They sent this to my, now it's actually a coil